Well, good evening everybody. Tonight we've got a lovely moon. It's a beautiful, clear, crisp night. So what I've decided to do is photograph the moon, and I'm intending to make it into an HDR. So a while ago I took a photo of a full moon, so I've got a full moon, and now today we've got an half moon. So I've already got that in the bag, my full moon. A couple of months ago took a full moon whenever, probably in lockdown, last lockdown 1. So I've been lockdown 2. I'm in the backyard, and I'm going to photograph the moon again. It's beautiful at the minute. I did photograph it a couple of nights ago when Venus and Jupiter were close to, but very hard to photograph all three together. But I did an HDR moon, so it gave me the idea of doing this vlog. So what I've got is I've got my Canon 6D with my Tamron 150-600mm lens on, and we'll have another crack at photographing the moon, and then I'll edit it and show you how I edited it and created a HDR. So without further ado, let's get it on the tripod and see what we can create. Let's go. One of the first things I would say is you need a good sturdy tripod. This tripod I got here is absolutely superb. It's the Benro, what model is it? Can't see the model, but I'll put it up here. Yes, good sturdy tripod is a definite. We'll lock and load. Switch the camera on. We'll go over a few settings. Right, we've all set up. Moon's directly in front of me. So we'll switch the camera on. We have no power. Switch it on. Just switched it off. Okay, at the moment I'm on ISO 400. We'll leave it at that for now. On f8, I'm going to put that up to f11 and see what the exposure length is. So I'm going to go live view, and we've just got to find the moon now. So it's about somewhere. Okay, the moon's in the middle of the frame. We'll zoom right in, adjust the exposure till we've got something, and then we'll digitally zoom in. And then we'll focus. Now the focus is critical. We want it absolutely on the money. Look at that. Oh, what a beautiful moon. So we've zoomed in. We'll take an image. Put it on the 10-second timer. We need it on the 10-second timer, because if you put it on 2, it'll still be vibrating. We've took the image. We'll have a look at the image now. Let's zoom in. We'll see how sharp it is. I'm quite happy with that. That is quite sharp. Well, you can see that on the camera. That is quite a sharp image. Okay. So that's lovely, and it's as simple as that. The detail is absolutely stunning. So we'll just go over that again, just to make sure we've f11, ISO 200, 1/80th of a second. Go live view, recompose because the moon is moving quite quickly. Really lock it in. Digitally zoom, pin sharp. Photography from the backyard. Love it. Excellent. Job's done. Like I say, I'll put the settings up of me when I took the full moon a few months ago, and then I'm going to superimpose one over the other, blend it and make it look HDR, and then we'll add a little bit of colour as well. Right, into the office. Okay guys, we're in the office now, which is the dining room, and we're going to have a look at the images. So I'll put them on the computer and put them in Lightroom. So we'll open Lightroom up. I've had a belly quit look, and I think I prefer the setting, which is the one I thought I preferred, which was the what setting were we? Let's have a look. ISO 200, 600mm, f11, 1/80th of a second. First thing I'm going to do before I forget is change it to black and white. The reason why I've changed it to black and white is when I blend it with the full moon to make it an HDR shot, they're both going to be black and white, and I don't want to forget to do that. So I've done that. I'm going to up the contrast slightly. We'll just zoom in on the moon because it's the only interest that we've got. Lovely and sharp. We're going to up the texture a fair bit, as much as we dare. Clarity, DAs, I don't really need the DAs, there's no A's, and I'm quite happy in that, and that's pretty much the settings. Let's just see what the highlights do. Too bright, not bright enough, pretty much where it is. Shadows, don't want to bring out any shadows, so I'm quite happy with everything else. And that is it in Lightroom for now. So next thing I'm going to do is send it to Photoshop. So right click on the image, edit in, Photoshop, wait for it to load. Right, we've loaded up in Photoshop. First thing I'm going to duplicate the layer. Do it on all my images because I've always got that image if I destroy that one. Right, now we need the full moon. So I've got an image of the full moon. I've found it on the laptop, and I'm just going to drag it over and just show you that. So I'm going to click on it, hold my button down on the mouse, drag it over, and that'll load it as a layer. So I'm going to just down the opacity so I know what size I want it. God, it's not far off. Return, and we've got a full moon and an half moon. Next thing is I'm going to do is going to crop it because I don't want all this space. So we'll just crop it and get rid of it. So we'll do a square crop. So go up, square crop, 1:1, get it in the middle. Return, square crop. Next thing we need to do is select the brush tool, and we're going to add a layer mask to that, to the full moon. The next thing we're going to do with the full moon is down the opacity, because we don't want it that bright. All we want is a bit of detail. And as we down the opacity, we start to get that HDR effect. So we'll download it a bit more. Oh, I really like that already. I'm just going to up it slightly. So we put a signature on. Let me just put another layer, put my signature in. There we go, in red, that's lovely. We'll change that. Undo brush tool. I'll do it in white. I'll remove that for now, I'll put that in a minute. We need to align the moon properly. What I'm going to do, I'm going to rub this part out. So, layer mask, select the brush tool, black. Nice soft brush. We'll just paint over that bit there, which is the moon that we've taken tonight, which will just blend in nice there. So we're just going to paint that knife. Don't worry if you make a mistake though, because we're going to just get that back in. So I've painted that. Select white. We'll just reinsert moon back in there. There we go. Now that half of the moon, the dark shadowed side of the moon is too bright for me, so we're just going to down the opacity. Just up it slightly. It's in shadow. About 20%. Okay, right. Map it that. Next step is to, where are we? Next step is to create another layer, and we're going to put some colour in it. Colour is, I'm going to choose blue, like a bluey colour, and we're going to paint it in. Now what we'll do, we'll select it, it'll probably be soft light. We'll select where we want the blue to show in these crater areas here. We'll soften that. Just swap that into blue. Overlay's probably actually better. So just put that into blue in. Now I don't like where I put that bit of blue, so I'm just going to create a layer mask and just rub a bit of that out. So I'll select black and just rub that bit out there. There we go. Still like that bit. And then we're going to create another layer. We're going to put a bit of yellowy gold in. So selected the colour, which will have that colour. And we're going to do exactly the same. So we'll select overlay. And we're just going to put some colour in. We'll put it in the dark shaded areas as well. And then down the opacity to about 20% again, I would have thought. Just put some in there. Probably slightly less. Just putting into colour. I think I'm just going to down the opacity to that, the blue. And that is pretty well it. I might just select the colours and just put a bit of blur on it as well. So filters, blur, Gaussian blur. Just up that slightly. It'll just make it blend in a bit better. There we go, we'll do that to the blue as well. Because I've used the Gaussian blur once, it's at the top, so just click it and it'll do it the same setting. That's my HDR Moon done. So what I will do now is we'll just zoom out and have a look. Make sure it looks pretty decent. It looks pretty good, I'm quite happy with that. But what I'm trying to show you is do it however you like in the colour. You might not like that intercolour in it. I quite like it. It seems to be them golds and them blues that seem to suit it. So put the colour in. I'm going to save that back now into Lightroom and see if it just needs any little tweaking. So if I just click save, it should send it straight back into Lightroom. We'll have a look, see what we think, and save the image. Now, I like it. I do really like it. Just zoom in. We could see what the texture would do and enhance it even more. Let's just zoom back out, see what it's like zoomed out. It does look good. It does look good. Look at that. Now then, I'm going to save that, and then I'm going to go back into Photoshop because I forgot a critical element, but I'm going to save that as that. So I like that. Square crop, saved it, export to previous. So that'll save it in the file I want to save it in. We'll go back into Photoshop. Now, what have I forgot? Come on, what have I forgot? That. What I'll do is I'll select that layer, and I'm just gonna, I don't want it nice and bright, do we? Just like that. And we'll save that back into Lightroom. Save. Now I'll save it with my name on. Now I'm going to save it again. Export to previous. Don't overwrite, because now I'm going to save it with my name in. So I've got one without the name on, one with, just in case someone wants to print and they don't want my name on it. So that's the image done. I hope it's helped you a little bit. There's more than one way to do it. Lining up's probably the most difficult. It doesn't have to be absolutely perfect, but lining it up's the hard bit, to be honest. And then if you do them things, put a little bit of colour in it, gives it a little bit more dimension to the moon, and it looks fantastic. So I hope that's helped you. I hope it's helped you taking the image. Fun to do in the backyard. Clear night. Get the moon. Good long lens. Good tripod. Good sturdy tripod. You need a good sturdy tripod. Good ball head on it, or a good head on it, so it's nice and solid. It's not going to move. 10-second timer. Must use the 10-second timer, or a remote, and you'll get a super image of the moon. Hope you've enjoyed that. Thanks for watching. I've enjoyed doing it. I've loved it. Please subscribe if you've enjoyed it, and I'll catch with you guys on another adventure. See you soon.